Hi there and welcome to IronWorks Brewing. Today's video is slightly shorter and it's a bit about getting the brewery shuffled around a little bit. I've got to a point where I've got that much stuff and it's getting a little bit claustrophobic, so you might have noticed that things are starting to move backwards ever so slightly. Things are receding into the walls as I'm shuffling things around. So I thought today we'd have a quick look at what my plans are. Okay, so this is my brewing space. This is IronWorks Brewing, and I previously used to have two of these stainless racks, absolutely fantastic for storage and stuff like that. I managed to tidy another space around there for the bigger bulky items that I don't use as often, but I'm having a bit of a shuffle around just to make life a little bit easier. So a couple of things I want to do is, this is great. I love my kegerator. It's absolutely fantastic. It's in what was the ideal place when I first got it. Like everything, when you first start, you get it all together and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, right, this is the optimum. But I'm going to have a complete shuffle around. So my plans are based on, obviously, I've got my great stainless table. Fantastic. So my plan is I'm going to move the stainless table and I'm going to move it across the back, so that's across the back wall. I've got my PowerPoints all across there. That'll be ideal for putting the heat belts on and ink birds and all of that kind of stuff. The kegerator, this is going to move over to here. So that's going to sort of sit just in this space just here, and it means I've got better storage and access for my cylinders. I need to put some chain on just to stop the potential for them to fall forward. But the kegerator is going to go there. It means I've got better access, so I can fully open the door when I'm going in and cleaning it and all that kind of stuff, because I have to shuffle it out of the way at the moment, take off the drip tray, move my fermenters and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a bit of a faff. My plan then is I'm going to take down these two cupboards. These smaller cupboards. I've got my glass cupboard, got a few glasses in there, and then there's sundry items of hydrometers and other bits and bobs in there, but I've got better storage boxes now, and you probably notice, but under there I've also got some storage boxes as well. So I think this is 1500 long, and that's going to go across the back just there. It won't go right up to the very edge, because my other plan is I'm looking to get another stainless bench that comes out probably about 1200. So these are 600 deep, standard catering type stainless get-ups, and I'm going to have a 1200 coming out that way, and then what will happen is this 1500 will fit across there. There'll be a gap probably of around about 300 from the wall at the back of there, and then that means I can store my corner kegs either on their end and then just stack them up, or just upright and then stand one on top of the other, the corner kegs and then the oxy bars. So I've got plenty there, and also, as you can see, I already store them underneath as well. And while I'm doing it, I'll probably slightly raise, maybe not actually, I was going to say I might slightly raise the that bottom shelf, but we'll see. In fact, there are some feet adjusters, so I'll probably raise that up so that I can also get corner kegs underneath as needed. Stainless bench coming across here. I'll have to change the electrical bonding stuff because it's all connected in for safety reasons. And then the big change is, I don't know if you see up there, but all the shelving's gone from just there, which is actually made it feel a lot better already. The main change is this is coming out. So getting rid of the worktop, getting rid of the cupboards underneath. The RO water plant is going to get fixed to the wall. So instead of it being fixed to the end panel, it'll get fixed to the wall. And then my all-in-one boiler mash vessel is going to come, and it's going to sit here. Better for ventilation, all that kind of stuff. And that will sit just there. And then this bit of racking, this stainless racking, I'll secure it so it can't possibly fall forward, but then I'm going to actually have my water boiler sat on top of it, the top of that as well, so then I can fill and sparge from there. The other thing I need to do is I've got 2 cold water supplies. There was one that was original when the house was built, but a good few years ago we had hot and cold water plumbed in, so hot water, cold water. So I'm going to cut those off and take them around the top of the door, and they're going to go right around there and then drop down, so that I've actually got the water supply all in and ready. So a good few changes coming up, and I think that'll make life a little bit easier. My boiling kettle's going to be in a place where near to my door. I have got extract already in here, which works really well. But I think having it just there keeps things out of the way, and all then sort of the fermenters are at the back of the garage, and they're not subjected to any of the cool coming in there. I have also got a diesel heater. I think I mentioned that on a quick short. I've actually got a couple of pipes that then run underneath. That's only going to be used ever for really cold days. Today it's 3 degrees, so it's a bit parky. You can probably see my breath. So I've got my diesel heater on, but actually around my legs and stuff like that, it's absolutely perfect. So I'll still keep that, and it means it can sit where it is, and then in the summer months it can just go into the garden shed out of the way and be safe and tucked up. Okie dokie. So a bit of a short video. Watch this space, and we'll probably do a couple of catch-ups and shorts in terms of where we're up to, or I'll stick it onto the community tab in terms of progress. And yeah, thanks for watching, and watch this space. And the next brew is going to be a citrus sunburst. We've got the mosaic. We've just done the dry hopping, the final part of the dry hopping for the mosaic afterglow. Citrus sunburst is the next one, and then we're going to flip back, and we're back onto Superdelic Sunshine again, but Superdelic Sunshine version 2, by doing some tweaks and adjustments from the first recipe, or the first version of the recipe, which was absolutely cracking. I'm really enjoying it, but I think these modifications will improve it even further. So watch this space. If you like this kind of stuff, please do like and subscribe. It does mean a lot, and thanks very much for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. See you soon.